The Batgirl movie, as we all know, is canceled. The people deserve a Batgirl movie. Warner Brothers did us dirty. All people need is to see a little fan-made trailer that gives them the spark of inspiration. And the hope is that we can do what this giant corporation couldn't, and that is get people excited about Batgirl.
Holy cancellation, Batman.
Studio executives have done what comic villains have tried to do for years. They apparently killed Batgirl.
WB and DC, they're f***ing idiots.
Warner Brothers is axing its upcoming Batgirl film. What are they thinking?
No one will ever see what has now become a very expensive mistake.
The Batgirl movie, as we all know, is canceled, but the whole thing was shot, and there's also like a ton of behind-the-scenes set photography that was taken, showing some really complex setups.
So in this leaked footage, we've got a wicked chase scene on top of a fire truck. Brendan Fraser as Firefly, the villain, is fighting a firefighter. He's swinging his fireman axe at him. Batgirl is riding behind on a motorbike. It looks really cool.
There's so many awesome set pieces here. What has been released for this officially besides the BTS?
As far as I know, there was actually only one official photo of Batgirl released by Warner Brothers.
But no official teaser has been released, no trailer. They brought out Brendan Fraser, they gave him 2 flamethrowers, put him on a fire truck, and they have the gall, they have the audacity to delete the movie? In the middle of the Fraser seance, they decide to just scrap it. Dude, and then there's Michael Keaton. What do they have against bats and girls? The people deserve a Batgirl movie. Warner Brothers did us dirty. We need to recreate Batgirl and deliver it to the people. When the opening scene of Deadpool was leaked, it caused a huge uproar in the internet, and people demanded that this movie be made, and it did. So maybe all people need is to see a little fan-made trailer that gives them the spark of inspiration. Maybe at the end of this all, they will listen to the people. They will listen to our call and release this tiny little $90 million movie that they made and then threw in the trash. So we've done our research. We have looked at the entirety of the 11 minutes of behind the scenes for Batgirl, which is pretty much the only footage that exists. There's not a whole lot to work with here. This is unlike any other Corridor Crew video. It's not something like Spider-Man Rated R where you can simply pull a bunch of footage from pre-existing movies. We don't have the movie Batgirl to use. So really all we can use this behind the scenes footage for is reference as to what the movie might look like. And to be able to actually piece together everything to make a convincing trailer, I've made a list for you. That's a list. And the first thing we need on the list is a Batgirl. Batgirl, of course we need a Batgirl. That's the name of the movie. We don't have Leslie Grace because she's unavailable, we asked. But we do have Jordan Coleman.
Hi.
She looks a hell of a lot like Leslie Grace.
I've always wanted to be a superhero. Do I get to save people?
You get to save an entire franchise.
Okay.
So, we've got a Barbara Gordon, but we don't have a costume. And, well, this movie's not out, so it's not like we can just buy one online. It's not that easy. We have to make it ourselves. And for that, we're gonna call upon the services and talents of Ren and Fenner. Renner.
Hey, Fenner.
Oh.
What's going on with the lights?
Just trying to get in the mood, dude. You can get the light if you want. Kind of stressed. We need to make sure that these helmets look good on camera. We're trying to emulate that feature film quality and make this look like the real Batgirl trailer. We can't just order some Halloween costume. So instead of ordering these bat cowls online, we decided to make them from scratch. First up, we're gonna need a photo scan Jordan Coleman's entire head. We'll be able to bring our 3D photo scan into Blender. I'm gonna model the cowl around her photo scanned head, and then we'll have to 3D print this thing. Ren has a brand new 3D printer with a giant print bed that should be able to fit the entire cowl in there.
Printed it in pink is because that was the only filament I had enough filament for.
Should we see if it fits?
I think we should.
Yeah, I think it might be small. You have to go into the morning meeting with that.
Two other things that may be filming this week that we can chat about is the start of the Batgirl photography.
So now that we know that the cowl fits, Ren is going to print us out a few of them so I can make a couple different versions of this cowl. For one of these, I'm going to cover the rough spots with Bondo and sand it down so it's our nice, smooth hero prop. I'm also going to turn one of our damaged prints into kind of a damaged version of the helmet for a, special little moody moment in our trailer. It's coming together. Once they're painted, we're going to need a vinyl wrap to replicate the carbon fiber look of the actual Batgirl helmet. Oh my God, there's carbon fiber. I think this means the mask will be indestructible. So I've never actually done a vinyl wrap before, but I'm pretty stoked on the final product, and so is Jordan. Oh. It seriously looks so good on camera. So we're done with the cowls and they look great, but that's not the only part of the costume we're making from scratch. Matt and Jordan spent a ton of time sourcing different pieces of this costume. There's a custom cape, there's some awesome gold shiny boots, but my personal favorite is they actually printed out a custom crest and they got a tailor to actually stitch on that Batgirl logo right onto the jacket. So now that our costume's complete, we can finally bring this version of Batgirl to life.
So we have a perfect Batgirl and the costume. It works, it's all looking beautiful, but we can't just have a superhero. We gotta have a villain in there. From our behind the scenes reference, we know that that villain is Firefly. Brendan Fraser was in the middle of a comeback, man. He was on the top of his game, and he was about to be a villain, the main villain in a very big blockbuster action movie. But they canned it. They scrapped him. They left him to the side of the road crying. But I tell you what, we're gonna pick him up from the side of the road, put him in our van, and put him in our Batgirl trailer. So I watched a ton of his new movies and clips from them, and I finally found something from a movie that no one has seen, where he's monologuing about masks.
What is it with people, It's like they're always wearing masks.
The reason why this monologue works super well is because it's something that everyone expects to see in a trailer. They want that brooding, dark villain monologue. So now we have a really sweet monologue from Brendan Fraser out of the costume, but we still need that costume to really sell this. So we're gonna call upon the talents of Jordan and Fenner.
So I was tasked with actually building the Firefly costume from the ground up. All we really have is some loose BTS photography from people who were around when they were shooting it. Obviously, with someone who's this complex, with flamethrowers on his hands and stuff like that, we're not gonna go the practical route, right? We're not gonna go the route of actually building this costume from the ground up in real life. So really, that leaves us to create only the chest piece and, of course, the actual helmet itself. We can see the big eyes with the crossbars over the top, kind of like an old diver helmet. You can see that it's like some sort of leather or fabric, and you get a good idea of the earpiece and the mouthpiece and stuff like that. And so those are the important elements that we need to hit. So once we have all these elements completed in CG, we're free to slap them on any footage we can find that kind of looks like our base Firefly.
So now that Jordan's built out this awesome Firefly asset, we have basically our full costume. Luckily for us, Matt found this awesome flamethrower dude on Storyblocks. He's got the dual flamethrowers like Firefly. He's got on this sweet trench coat. Basically what we're gonna do is take the awesome assets that Jordan's created, light them up in Blender, track them on, and then light the scene where I'm basically placing point lights where the fire is. So we actually get this nice raking light and shadows on the costume. So once all the lighting is complete on this and I've got the whole asset tracked to our stock footage, I hit render on this and I bring it into Nuke. Now that we've got our render in Nuke, we basically have to prep our background plate of our stock footage. So I basically just warped this guy's head down. He's got this weird little tiny head now. But what that does is it gives us this natural fall off of the shoulders going into the helmet, and it saves us a ton of time doing paintwork. Stepping down through our tree, we then are adding our beauty pass here, adding in a bunch of different smoke elements, embers, that sort of thing. After that, chromatic aberration, crazy distortion around the edges, and just all sorts of nice flaring and kind of different lens elements. So it's only 34 frames, but it's worth it to add in that extra detail and attention that makes it look like it's a shot that could have come out of an actual Hollywood studio.
Now, what is the point of having Firefly if we don't have any fire? Our idea, a la Dark Knight, was to light up a giant pyramid of cash, Joker style.
Everything burns.
It's a problem you can't really handle with stock footage if you want accurate shadows and reflections being cast off the pile of money. So instead, we generated a giant procedural pyramid of cash, sprinkled some money over the top of it to add some natural randomness to the pile, and then churned out a big old blazing fire using the Axiom solver inside of Houdini. We wanted to send out Brendan Fraser's performance in a blaze of glory, and only a giant pyre of burning cash can do that for our boy. It's like the entire theme behind this movie is fire. Fire is bad, fire is burning. Well, guess what? Fire is cleansing, and we are gonna burn down Warner Brothers. WB, not for me. WB, not for me. WB, not for me. WB, not for me. Oh, WB, not for me. WB, not for me.
Whew, okay, I'm starting to assemble some of these assets into a timeline, and it's really starting to flow. This is exciting. Oh, hold on, Jake's calling me. What's going on, Jake?
What are you doing right now?
I mean, I'm just assembling Batgirl. It's gonna be a long haul to get this thing done.
I left something on your desk this morning.
Check around you. Let me know if you find it.
Hold on. Did you put it on my chair? I was sitting on it the whole time.
You found it. Okay.
Those are a pair of Raycon Everyday Earbuds, courtesy of today's sponsor, Raycon. They're gonna make you look, feel, and sound better than ever before.
Wow, I've always dreamed of listening to my sick beats with Raycon earbuds.
They're not for you. They're for Batgirl.
We have to reshoot everything with Raycons in Batgirl's ears.
There's gotta be a way to offer a premium wireless earbud for about half the cost of other premium wireless earbuds out there on the market. There's gotta be a way to get an optimized gel tip for the perfect in-ear fit of an earbud.
Yeah, I guess that would be a concern if she also listens to sick beats.
Which of course she does. They also offer 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life. You don't have to take my word for it, okay, Matt? Think of the over 48,000 5-star reviews that Raycon Everyday Earbuds have. Just go to buyraycon.com/corridorcrew and you'll get 15% off your purchase. That's buyraycon.com/corridorcrew for 15% off your purchase.
It is a good deal.
Click the link in the description below if you're interested in getting a pair for yourself, okay?
Click the link in the description.
All right, I gotta go.
All right, I'll see you later, Matt.
So we got a villain and we got a hero, but those two, they gotta fight. That's something you expect to see in a superhero trailer, is some really sick action and fight sequences. But how are we gonna do that? Well, Jordan Coleman has actually been training in martial arts for a couple months now. So I think she has the chops to pull this off, along with some help. This is the location that we're looking at right now. What do y'all think of this?
Cool.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
Has some character to it.
A lot of YouTube history here.
So we are bringing in a really talented fight coordinator and a friend of Corridor, Jaquan, who's going to choreograph a fight sequence for us.
I'm very nervous because I'm with a bunch of people who do this for a living. And it's just, I don't want to f up and hurt people, and like they do this every day. I'm so scared. I really am.
It'll be good. Okay. The first step to this is prevising the fight. I'll basically just film on my phone all of the choreography that he's designing, and then we'll be able to determine what the best framing for these shots are and what is really gonna sell the impacts.
After many run-throughs, she started doing it faster and stronger and much better.
Very good. You just did it in a oneer.
Thank you guys. I'm gonna get it down.
Now it's time for cinema. We can't just create an action sequence and a couple of cool costumes. We need to photograph this in a way that matches big budget Hollywood films. And that's no easy task when you have a very limited budget and limited resources, but it's not impossible. So the first step in achieving like a big budget cinema feel is the camera and the lenses. We have access to an Arri Alexa Mini LF, which is what tons of big budget Hollywood blockbusters use to photograph their films. And we're using the same kind of anamorphic lenses that they use on films like The Batman. It photographs and interacts with light differently than most other lenses. It's why movies have a certain look to them. But selling the cinema look is not just about what camera you use. It is about what you put in front of your camera.
We are trying to mimic Batgirl driving on the road. And the best way to do that is to get these animated lights. We have these Titan tubes that can animate a moving light across. And it's Gotham, so they're gonna have probably different color temperatures and colors on their streets. So we got that going. We also have some other lights that we're gonna whip her with that are gonna really help sell that movement since we're on a green screen.
But we can't just shoot everything on a green screen. We also need some expensive looking locations. And we cannot afford any of these locations, so we're gonna steal them instead.
We're gonna get up, we're gonna sneak up onto the helipad. There's a little alarm that goes off that got us a little scared, but it'll be all right.
3, 2, 1, go, 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 go. Everybody to the dirt.
Oh my God.
Make it stop. So we snuck up onto the roof of a building in downtown LA to steal some shots of the city skyline. And I gotta tell you, they ended up looking incredible. In this type of environment, the anamorphics really, really shine, and you can see why so many big budget films use them. But because this is shot at night, we still need to add some lights into our scenes to light our subjects. And Aperture made this possible by providing us with some very portable, easy to use lights that are battery operated, and we could get onto the roof of the building very easily. But we don't have to steal every location on this production. For other less expensive locations, like our street that we're gonna be using later, we can up the production value by adding a little extra flair to them. One thing Hollywood movies do all the time is they wet their streets down to give it that reflective sheen.
So to my right here, you'll see the dry, drought-ridden streets of LA. And over to our left, we have the mean, dark, moist streets of Gotham. So we've been wetting down the street, and it looks amazing on camera. It's just gonna give us that little, cinematic push over the finish line.
My body is going through all these, I think they call it nerves, anxiety. The stunt guys are here, and they're so good at what they do. They're so calm. This will be like the 3rd time I've practiced, I guess. And now we're doing it today in costume. It's way different. Like I can't really even do an elbow as high because the costume, I don't want it to like rip and like get all. I want to make their night as easy as possible, and I just want to nail all the moves. I'm sweating. I'm a nervous wreck.
All right, and 3, 2, 1, action.
All right, cut it.
Like, this is something I've always wanted to do, but now I totally understand why actresses have stunt doubles. Because I am completely out of breath. Even though I feel like I'm working very hard, they make it look like I'm working even harder. Much praise to them, because this is, this is very hard. It's very fun, but it's very exhausting.
So we now have a lot of cinematic appeal in our trailer, but I think we're missing one vital cinematic moment, the moody rain shot. But we're going through a drought right now, so LA never rains. However, I can design a rain machine that will give us the desired effect and mood.
Did it work?
Yes, you look very upset. This wouldn't be a comic book trailer if it didn't have an extended universe behind it. And not just any universe, the DC universe. We want to include a bunch of the other superheroes in our trailer. And so to do that, we have Jordan.
Look, we're not living in a vacuum, all right? The DC universe, we're talking multiverse. We're talking expansive, open world, infinite possibilities. Warner Brothers has effectively discarded Batgirl, and it's not right. Well, who else have they discarded? Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern. We're bringing him back. Well, we're not actually gonna bring him back, but we're gonna bring his ring back. Also, Cyborg. They canceled his movie, and it's not right. So we're gonna bring these characters back to the screen. Now, granted, we're killing them off in the trailer, but we're raising awareness for the trampling that Warner Brothers has done to our beloved cast of characters.
So now we have all of the elements we need to make a convincing cinematic trailer. But now we gotta piece it all together. And it's gonna be easy. It's just a walk in the park. I'll just slap some clips together and probably have a lot of late nights and cry a little bit, but it'll be all great because by the end of it, we're gonna have a convincing trailer that we're gonna show the team and then release to the world. And the hope is that we can do what this giant corporation couldn't, and that is get people excited about Batgirl. Oh man, we're about to watch a Batgirl trailer that is now in its final stages. And I'm so excited to show each and every one of you because we put a ton of work into it. And Jordan is joining us remotely today because she's in Atlanta filming an actual movie.
Are you excited to see yourself on the big screen?
I'm very excited.
It's one of those funny things where it started with just this idea of doing a trailer, and it just snowballed.
Yeah. Anyway, let's freaking slap this thing on and see what happens.
This isn't just some random murder. It's an extermination.
Dozens of witnesses all over Gotham. No discernible pattern I can see.
When the streets burn with the corpses of our favorite heroes, who can save us?
Hello, Gotham. Batgirl here. Firefly must be stopped, but I can't do it alone.
I don't exist.
I'm not even here.
Get it together, man. We're all that's left. And right here, right now, the universe needs you.
Everybody's got a mask on. I got one, you got one. But every now and then, it slips a little bit.
There's good and there's evil, and evil must be punished.
$90 million up in flames!
The police have got it wrong.
Firefly was just a decoy. But if not him, then who?
We're the Warner Brothers, and you're a write-off!
I would pay $17 to watch that in the movie theater. That was super cool. Really sick footage of Batgirl you guys got. That looks amazing. So cinematic. Ridiculous.
This looks incredible. Everybody did an amazing job. It's lit really well. It's shot really well. Jordan, you did a really good job playing Batgirl. That line on the roof where it pans on, you're like, "Hey, Batgirl here," is such a actual movie line. It's pretty sweet.
Wait, I just realized it goes from 3 viewers to 2 when we reveal Batgirl.
She's not the most popular DC character.
You did really good. You made the look happen. You made the acting happen. You did the fight scenes.
Yeah, I was stressed. I thought I was gonna poop myself when we were out there.
Well, Jordan, you did a phenomenal job, especially with such a limited time to learn all that choreography. And yeah, we literally couldn't have done it without you at all.
Well, I had a blast. It was so fun.
I gotta say that the Firefly 3D model is indistinguishable from reality.
That's a 3D model? Jesus Christ, I had no idea. I thought that was from a different movie or something. Bat?
Yeah.
Are you guys with me?
Is that supposed to be Ezra Miller though?
That's Ezra Miller with a busted Flash mask. We wanted the Flash in there, like a manic Flash just destroying the lot.
We're imitating life.
Are those Dick Tracy Warner Brother guys, are they wearing makeup?
Yes. So Allie Sortwell did this makeup, and she did a phenomenal job as well, so thank you, Allie. What other shout-outs? OTM, On the Mark Media, they provided us with the Cinegear that we needed to make this as good as it could possibly be. So thank you, guys.
And to all of the actual filmmakers of Batgirl, it sucks that the movie was canceled, but hopefully this can bring some levity to this crappy situation.
Oh, Batgirl!
Nick, you said no culty clap.
I am what I am. What do you guys think? Did they pull it off? Did we make a Batgirl trailer that's worthy of the actual production and of the hype? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you want to see us use our VFX filmmaking skills to take on any other projects, leave some ideas down below. Thanks.
Bye. 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 Last thing, consider subscribing.
No, sorry, anyway.